Hello, and thank you for clicking on this video. You're never too old to have a great childhood, and today that means riding a trail system that is coming back to life. By 2023, Pine Ridge was almost completely wiped out. A while back, I showed you what was left, but today is different. I'm Mark, and just an average mountain biker in my 50s based in Maine, documenting rides across this beautiful state and other places around the country. If you're over 50 and still getting after it outdoors, or just looking for some inspiration on where to ride next, this channel is for you. So ride along with me. I've got some trails I think you're gonna like. The thing that gets me is this. 2 years ago, I stood in this spot and showed you the granite marker, which is now covered in grass, near where the solar field is, and pointed out where trails like Canyon and Round Trip branched off from, where Beacon connected. I told you Pine Ridge was a shadow of what it once was, and it was true. I wasn't exaggerating. And I'm not gonna lie, it was heartbreaking. Miles of trail that were gone, blowdowns everywhere, a beloved trail system that was a mere shell of its former self. Then 2025 and 2026 brought something Pine Ridge hasn't seen in a long time. New trails, rebuilt trails, and at its core, people that refuse to give up on this place. So let me show you what's been going on since that video. Central Maine Nimbus Trail crew and volunteers, along with Kennebec Messalonskee Trails, have been out here the past 2 years putting in hours of work. New trail construction and rebuilding some of the old. Crosswind is one of their legacy trail names here. This is 99% new trail. It touches some of the old Round Trip and turbulence corridors, and with the amount of wind that comes off the airfield and solar farm, Crosswind is still very much an appropriate name. Got a lot of skinny features available, people wanting a little bit more spice in their ride. When the solar farm went in, the trees and vegetation that used to absorb stormwater were gone. Now when it rains, even more water sheets off the runway and the solar panels down onto the trail system. Touch and Go took the worst of it during the winter snowmelt and spring rains earlier this year. But here's where the story turns around. In 2026, a trail crew put in some serious work to deal with this. New drainage, rerouted sections, armored crossings. This right here, this is new. This rock work didn't exist last year, and what it means is Touch and Go is more sustainable and less prone to erosion. We've come to the end of getting out there and kind of at a crossroads where to our right is the airplane wreckage and straight ahead is the start of Mad Mother. As I mentioned in my fat biking video, Mad Mother got its name because the trail builder actually built this on Mother's Day and his mother-in-law was not impressed. However, you will be impressed when you ride this trail. What makes this legacy trail even more special is about 3,000 to 3,400 feet of new trail was added to the end of it, connecting this side of the trail system back to the tee box on the golf course, so you can once again ride this as a loop. This legacy section of Mad Mother is really just a series of camel humps, which makes it for a fun ride. And here we are starting the new section. Turn here. Optional drop coming up. I'm going to go to the right slightly. To our left is the Pine Ridge Golf Course. We got a bit of a hairpin turn coming up. that punchy little climb. A little slow this morning, but we made it. Jetstream is another legacy trail here at Pine Ridge. I've always enjoyed riding that. As a bonus, it got a bit of an extension last year, so it's a little longer than what it used to be. So let's go for a ride. It is a beginner-friendly cross-country trail, but you'll see as we ride it, there are several optional skinny features made with the blowdown debris. Now, we will not ride the extension today. You're gonna have to come check it out for yourself because we're gonna drop down to our next trail. So it's obvious that Pine Ridge's comeback story is not complete yet by the flagging we see ahead of us. Some new trails still to go in, evidence of trail work that is partially done. So it will be exciting to see the rest of this system come to life. And I'll be happy to share that with you once it does. So be sure to stay tuned. I can't wait for this next chapter of this comeback story. These new trails do not have signage posted yet. Central Maine NIMBA is working on that, but you will find these on trail forks. We are at the beginning of Iceman, and when I last recorded here, it was fat biking season. The temperature was well below zero that day with the wind chill, so it was a fitting day to ride the aptly named trails. For now, we'll get ready and we'll drop down on Iceman. The climbing trail still doesn't have a name yet, but in the spirit of aviation themes, I still like gaining altitude. It's also not fully complete yet, so expect some rough sections near the end where it intersects in with the old Pine Ridge Loop. We are at the beginning of landing strip, and landing strip will take us back towards the trailhead as it weaves in and amongst the trees. It's also going to give us access to two more of the legacy trails here. Round Trip, which is really primarily a hiking trail nowadays, but it's still a blast to ride on your bike, and then OMG. So let's get back on the bike and ride this one out. New trail off to our right, still under construction. So here you're going to see some evidence of the most recent wind damage. See where the trees have been snapped off, as well as one last blowdown blocking the trail. So that will be taken out in short order. But it just illustrates how much wind can still come across this solar field and the airfield. And without the original growth that was here to help buffer that out, it's still going to be a long-term problem for this trail system, but still a wonderful place to ride. Here's where you can access round trip, just to our left. Nelson's path is straight ahead. Okay, it's a little bit hard to see right now, but this is the entry point to OMG, which is going to drop down and take us back towards the trailhead. It is another legacy trail here, although it is a bit shorter than what it used to be. Still a lot of fun to ride. At the very end of it, there is some ledge that you roll down over, so let's go check it out. What I've learned about watching this system come back is that trails are resilient, but not on their own, of course. They don't rebuild themselves. It takes trail builders showing up. It takes volunteers dragging tires through snow to groom back bike trails. It takes chainsaw work and shovel work. The solar farm didn't kill Pine Ridge, it just changed it. And honestly, some of these new trails are better than what was here before. You know, I talk a lot on this channel about how you're never too old to have a great childhood. You're never too old to come back from a setback either, and neither is a trail system. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of the comeback story of Pine Ridge Trails. And I hope it inspires you to come ride this system that is very special to me and many others. If you have any questions or want to share a favorite memory from the old Pine Ridge, drop a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. So until next time, I hope you've had a wonderful day, but most importantly, I hope you had a chance to get outdoors and play.